What is up, creatives? This is Tom. Welcome back to another video. I hope you are all doing well, keeping safe and everything like that. So I just got back from a very quick trip to the Peak District. Amazing sort of like hilly mountain range here in the UK. Like an amazing trip, very quick, a bit too quick in my opinion. Now I happen to be traveling with my girlfriend, but it sort of got me thinking whilst I was on the trip. If I was on my own, how would I best have captured photos, video with myself in the shot? Like if I didn't have anyone that I could ask to sort of like, you know, take the shot or focus for me or that type of thing, how would I have best captured those photos? And I've never actually done a video on this, but there are a few techniques that I use all the time on my Canon EOS R, on previous cameras that I've used to basically take photos of yourself in them and make those photos as good, hopefully, as they would be with you behind the camera. So today I'm going to discuss 3 methods to take really good self-portrait photography. They are super easy, most don't require additional kit. And the first one we're going to talk about is really simple. Pretty much every camera in existence has this built in, and it is just the self-timer. Now this is a particularly good, reliable technique, and it's obviously the main inbuilt function of the timer on the cameras. Now, unfortunately for me at least, the EOS R's timer maxes out at 10 seconds and I literally can't find a way to expand this option. And also a sort of a limitation of more modern cameras as well is that they won't refocus. So you generally set focus, you set the timer, and it's going to use that first focus. It's not going to continually focus or sort of retake your focus when you are wanting the shot to be taken at the end of that 10-second countdown. So what you're going to want to do with this technique, here's a good example. I set the focus on this rock that I was sitting there on, and then I literally just had a bit of a manic run to try and get into the spot. Now you've only got 10 seconds, so you're not going to be able to get absolutely miles away, and a few of the techniques a little bit later on in the video will sort of discuss or give you a few different options for doing that type of thing instead. But on the whole, this is a really simple, quick and reliable way to take photos of yourself. I'll show you how this works very quickly on the Canon EOS R. You just literally go into the photography main settings, press this little Q button, and then go over to the drive mode, the shooting modes, and select one of the timer options along the bottom. I got 10 seconds and 2 seconds here, and very easily, very quickly, just hit the shutter and that will count down from 10 and take. Alright guys, and next one, this is my sort of favorite method, the most reliable method that I've personally found, and also gives you the most sort of flexibility. Now, the EOS R is a great camera, and luckily for me, it has a flip out LCD. There we go, you can literally see it right there, the flip out LCD on the EOS R. And basically, that does allow you some flexibility of, you know, seeing what the shot looks like before you, if you're in front of the camera before you take it. However, taking this a step further, most cameras nowadays have these apps which you can connect your camera to, and you can get sort of a remote shooting view, and it's super good because generally these apps actually let you interact with the camera, change settings, or actually use the shutter button. So this is my favorite way of doing this. So now I'm just going to very quickly show you how I would set this up on the Canon EOS R using my iPhone and the connection between the smartphone. I'm going to film this on the little Canon M50, and I'll show you how easy it is.
Yo guys, Tom here on the editing computer. Sorry if this sounds like absolute rubbish. I'm actually in a hotel room right now on a shoot at the moment, but I was editing this on the go. So this little sort of following section that is coming up, I don't really know what I was thinking about including it because it's very dedicated to the EOS R. It's also a bit out of focus and just not the best stuff. So if you are wanting to skip straight to the next part in the video, go to this timecode. But if you are shooting on an EOS R, you might find it useful, and go ahead and carry on watching.
All right, so on the R, you literally just go up onto the menu section, and then you navigate over to the little spanner, the sort of fourth menu item here. And then once you are in there, you can just navigate across. Wrong way. Go over, and in number 5 is wireless communication settings. Go in there, and here you basically have the like Bluetooth settings and the Wi-Fi settings. So make sure your Wi-Fi setting is on, and then we can connect to the app. All right, so now we just open the Canon Camera Connect app, And then over here, we've got remote live shooting view. You might need to sort of work out how to pair your individual phone with your individual app. Generally, they're fairly self-explanatory, but I can go over to remote live shooting view. And because I have the camera connected to my phone here, you get a little pop-up that says, do you want to join the network? I'm gonna hit join on there. Sorry, this is a bit out of focus. It's gonna say finding a network. And there we go, just like that, we have the app connected. So you can see that the camera back here, if I hit take, it's going to set the timer. I've got it set to a 2-second timer. For instance, now we could do some portrait style shots in here if we wanted to on this studio background, all nice and easy. So guys, this is actually a method that I used a bunch on the trip. Very, very easy to sort of just like pair your phone nice and quickly. The only one with this is that the range is not amazing. It's sort of capped at about sort of like 20 to 25 feet away, I would say. So it's not the most reliable of options if you're wanting to shoot from a really long way away, but you can probably get a little bit better range than the timer option. But because you can see the remote view on your phone, super, super useful. And like I said, I actually end up using this sort of configuration, remote shooting, if I'm just wanting to do some sort of studio portraits like this in this scenario. Really, really nice and easy. Okay guys, and finally we have the third option, and I don't actually own one of these, but I'm going to briefly talk about them. You can use a long-range remote, or alternatively an intervalometer, which is for creating time lapses. So you can buy sort of an external little remote thing that you plug into your camera, and basically that will allow you to take, so you know, if you're wanting to take a photo and walk sort of 15 minutes in one direction, so you'd be like at the top of a hill, you could do that using this setup, or a really, really long range remote. That I would say is a slightly more advanced form of portrait photography or self-portrait photography. I would thoroughly recommend, if you are looking into this type of photography, to get used to maybe just using the app first, or using a timer to try and sort of get your composition and start feeling the way that self-portrait photography works. And yeah, basically that's kind of it. These are just some options for if you're wanting to shoot some photos by yourself, of yourself. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section and down below. Hopefully I did a fairly decent job at explaining these methods. I sort of just like winged this tutorial, but I hope you did find it useful. If you do have any questions, leave them down below and I will get to them. And as always, I'll catch you guys next time. Totally missed.